Hi everyone and welcome to another quick video on the Tamron 24-70 f2.8 G2 lens. Now you will have watched, I don't know if you've watched the previous video where I showed you that I'd bought the 70-200 2.8 Tamron G2 and I also bought the 24-70 f2.8 G2. I will tell you now straight off the bat that this 24-70 has gone back. It's absolutely pants. I really didn't have no good luck with it. Well, I tell a lie, I did have a bit of good luck with it and I will show you, but the bit of good luck that I had was just so inconsistent it were untrue. Now, I've had Tamron years ago and I jumped on the Canon because of this problem, but because of the positive reviews I'd read on the internet about the 24-70 and the 70-200, 24-70 and the 70-200 being fantastically dog's nuts, I thought I'd give them a go this time. Now I will say that the 70-200 is stunning, end of story, but the 24-70 not so much. Now not because it wasn't sharp, because it was. Basically I had to calibrate the lens up to work on my Canon EOS 6D. I couldn't get it to work at all on the 80D. The images were that soft that plus 20 moving the focus backwards and then doing it on the camera as well on the 80D wasn't enough to make it work. So I managed to get it to go on my 6D by calibrating it up and spending hours messing around. I had to buy the Tamron tapping console and I managed to get it really tack sharp at 2.8. In fact, it was the sharpest 24-70 I've ever seen at 2.8. But what happened was, because I had to move, basically it front focused all the time. It front focused and then sometimes at certain focal lengths and certain distances, it'd focus near enough spot on. So I basically had to play like a lot with the Tamron tapping console to get it right. And yesterday was the tip over the edge for me to send it back. What had happened was, I managed to play with it and get it perfect at 2.8 and 3.2. Well, don't get me wrong, it still sometimes missed focus for no reason, but when it hit focus most of the time, it was the sharpest lens. And I will show you some really sharp 2.8 shots on the APS-C. But what happened was, then when I was shooting at f4 and 5.6, I noticed that because that didn't front focus as much as 2.8, with me shoving the focus right back, it threw those settings out. So when I went digging in and did some homework on the internet, I quickly found out that people were saying, oh yeah, you've got to calibrate it for using at 2.8 or 3.2 or higher apertures. You've got to like get an happy medium. Anyway, so I thought, you know what, I'm not doing that. If, you know what I mean, if I've got to calibrate it at f4 and shoot it at f4 or 2.8, I might as well just buy an f4 lens. So anyway, I bought a Canon 24 or f4 70. Canon 24-70 f4L for now. I may change that if I find out f4's a little bit crap. I might end up going to the 24-70 f2.8 version 2, but the reason why I haven't got that is because I wanted IS. So I think I'm going to sacrifice that stopper light just to have the IS for now, and then we'll see how I get on. But the Tamron, I will show you some images, but I can honestly say if you want to mess about and sit pissing around and jockeying around with it, that it was really sharp sometimes, and then other times it was just pants. But we'll end this now and I'll jump onto the computer and I'll show you some really good images and I'll show you some absolute poo images and you can make up your mind. But my recommendation is that I won't buy it. I definitely won't buy it. It's just really is too much jockeying around with it. And I did find out that when I jumped onto the internet, not YouTube, on the internet in the forums, people were going, oh, mine's soft at 2.8, and then same as me, I've set it up at 2.8 and now it's not as good at f4 and 5.6, it's chucked it out. And then people were going, yeah, well, recalibrate at f4 instead and then you'll have better 5.6 and f8 performance. But then what's the point of buying 2.8 lens? And anyway, we'll jump over onto PC and I'll show you a couple of images and I'll let you make up your own mind. But I can tell you now, my recommendations are don't waste your money and don't buy it. To be fair, I did import mine in from Catcher off eBay and it was only 739 quid instead of 1300 quid. If I'd have bought it in the UK, I could have probably sent it to Tamron and maybe kept sending it back and getting another one until I got one that were perfect. But I didn't have that opportunity with importing it in, and that's the thing with grey imports. They do come at a cost, but my 70-200 is perfect. It's stunning. I'm going to do the review soon, and that only cost me 740 quid as well instead of 1300 in the UK, so I've bonused there. But anyway, over on the PC and we'll take a look at these images. Hi everyone and welcome to part 2 of the 24-70 G2 shitty lens, right? So basically we're going to go to the, let's have a look here, the final chapter. This was something that I did yesterday, and we're going to go to the metadata. We'll go to 24-70 and we'll go and have a look at the apertures. Now, these images, basically you might notice here and there that the framing's not perfect, and it's because I used the centre focus point of the 6D and I didn't want to recompose. I usually do recompose, to be fair, and if they're slightly soft after that, I'm happy for that, but I didn't move the centre focus point from the eyeball. Obviously in this circumstance I focused here, right on the car lock, and it seems to be ooper duper tack sharp, so we're happy with that. And we'll just go to my daughter here now. Obviously they need a bit of an edit, but we're not going to edit them. And I did focus on this left eyeball, and you'll see at f3.2, 3/20th of a second. Let's have a look at the shot. And you'll see that it's really, I mean, look at this eye, but this is after really intense calibrating. It was nothing like this until I calibrated it. So we'll have a look at that one. But then if we look at the next shot, which was click, 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 click. Basically, I left the centre point on the eye here, and I was just clicking, click, 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 click. And there were just seconds, not even seconds, a third of a second after each other. So I'll show you what I mean here. So if we look at this shot, then we go to the next one, which was, you can see now it's back focused on the air over here. And if we have a look again, it's slightly coming in. Then we'll go again, and then it's sharp again. We'll just go one more time here, and it's sharp again. Blurred. Look at the air here. This is basically back focusing now. And the reason, let me just shift tab. The reason why it's doing this is because I've moved the focus back on the lens. I'll show you some shots in a minute where it front focuses a lot, but then basically for no known reason, it'll just start to back focus. And then obviously when you've put back focus on it as well, you get the hairpin sharp and not the eyeball. Left eyeball. Again, not in focus. I mean, if you watch me going next and next, you can see that I'm really taking these images really fast. And you'll see that this one's nailed. Absolutely. Spot on. You can see the aperture. We're still at 3.2. That's a bit soft, but it's okay. We'll give that acceptable. That's just out of focus. Well, it isn't out of focus. I mean, obviously, if you look at the air, the focus is there, but it's just back focused on this shot at the same focal length. So we're at 70mm. So if we take a look at 70mm, we'll see the eye looks for f2.8. You can see that it is really sharp. I mean, Jesus Christ, that is absolute zinging tack sharp. But it wasn't when I got it. 2.8 would be sharp every 15th, 10th shot. But you can see now that 2.8 is sharp even there. This is just after the calibration that I did. And 2.8 is sharp. For some reason here, she could have moved her head though, because if we have a look at these shots, you'll see I'm nearly touching her nose with lens, so that could have been me or her. So we'll give that to us moving about instead. But you can see there, I mean, look at that. 2.8, I don't think I've ever seen the 70-200s as sharp as that, like, but if not a bit better, but it really is a good lens at 2.8. But then, for some reason, we're at 3.2, look. The focus is here on the back. In fact, it looks slightly blurred. Let's try the next one. That one's in. I'm not going to go on for too long. Let me just jump off the portraits now. Well, I'll just show you a few more here. I mean, if we have a look here at 3.2, that's slightly soft. It's back focused. Like I say, when I left the focus so that I didn't push the focus back, because usually you could notice the nose was sharper, then 2.8 now would probably be right, but it only hits every 7, 8, 9 shot. So we'll just go one more and have a look at that. That's sharp. Look at that's nice and sharp now. Look at that left eyeball. I mean, it's absolutely zinging. This is a shot that I quite liked the expression of, and it's sharp. So anyway, but I mean, to be fair, there was only, these shots are just done for a test. So let's just jump on to the Duracell battery here. So we're at 2.8 and we focused on the DU. And you'll see it's not too bad, it's a bit soft, but we'll get away from these. What I wanted to show you was, basically I fixed it at 2.8. Let's have a look at some of these trampoline. Oh, you see these shots here, if we look at 3.2, I focused on the car, and the car is absolutely zinging sharp now at 70mm. It's a little bit off there, but it's spotting a bit. If you look at F4, I focused on this sticker. Look what's happened to F4. The focus now is right back on the flags. And that's basically because the lens didn't really front focus at F4. So when I've pushed it back, I can't remember what my settings was now. I don't know if it'll let me open this. It won't let me open it. But my settings was something like +10 backwards on the focus for 2.8. So obviously now at F4, because it didn't front focus at F4, it's pushing the focus back more than it should. And that's what I didn't like about it. That's why I sent it back. Now, if it front focused at all apertures and every focal length and stuff like that, you could have just set it up dead easy, but it doesn't front focus at these bigger apertures at F4. But at 2.8, you can see it's pretty much sharp. The flags are a little bit softer, but the car's in. And again, 2.8, the car's in focus. It's missed that one totally and utterly. Oh, no, it hasn't. Oh, yeah, it has. Look, the sticker looks soft, but it's still okay. And this is my son. I'll just jump out of these now. Look at that bad boy. And I noticed it here. At 2.8, I focused on the bolt. Just right on the edge of this bolt here, and you'll see that it looks okay. Really sharp for 2.8. But again, this was not out of the box. This was really tweaked. And I had to buy the tapping console to do it. So if you are going to buy these lenses, you want the tapping console. I'm just going to get it up to f5.6 now and f4. Right, see 4.5 is not bad, but I can see it's really front focused. Because obviously, front focused, it's back focused more than front focused. Because basically, like I've just said, at those apertures, it didn't really front focus anyway. So when I've nudged the focus back, it's cocked them up. Well, when I went onto the internet, I just don't know if I've still got this. Let me just have a look here. Tamron 2478 G2 soft. It was this forum here. I will put a link, DP review. There's loads of people talking about it here. And what people were basically saying was, what they had to do, they did what I did and they calibrated it at 2.8 and they noticed the 2.8 become a lot more crisp. But they noticed that the F4 and the 5.6 and the F8 was not nowhere near as tack. So they made a decision to calibrate it at F4 and then have a great F4, 5, 6 and 8 and maybe a 3.5 and have maybe a piss poor 3.2 and 2.8. But what's the point of buying 2.8 lens if you can't shoot it at 2.8? Anyway, I won't go on much further, but the same again happened here. I found out at 2.8, I focused on the right here with the square focus point, no recomposing. And then soon as I got to F3.2 was okay, I noticed it start to go, look at F4, look, little bit softer, but if we look at the stones, and again, that's down to me pushing the focus back at 2.8 in the lens. Anyway, I'm going to end this rant now. Personal preference, leave your comments below. Maybe you got a great copy. I have read that people got great copies, but I've also been looking through loads of people crying about it being shit at 2.8 and then they calibrate it and then it's crap at f4. So I don't know. You let me tell me what you think. But my verdict is I wouldn't buy it. I'd just get a Canon. And the import, that screwed me up really, because to be fair, if it wasn't an import, I would have probably rang Tamron or gone back to Jessop's if I bought it there and swapped it over and tried another copy. But I didn't have that opportunity, but I did pay nearly 600 quid less than in the shops over here, so what do you expect? Anyway, thanks for watching. Please comment and subscribe, and a big thumbs up would be nice.